Hey all, here are OS reviews. Now, true wireless earbuds or TWS earbuds are nothing new by now, but the pair I have today have the largest capacity charging case I've ever seen, coming in at over 2,100 milliamp hours. It's almost like a mini power bank of sorts, so it's going to give you more charges when on the go, but more importantly, it features a full-sized USB port, so you can use the battery case to charge your smartphone in emergencies when on the road. So this is a pretty convenient design. It has been upgraded to the latest Bluetooth 5.0, which I think is an excellent choice because it dramatically improves the latency, meaning that the video and the sound are synced together really well now, and it sells for only $25. Comes in a few different colors as well, so if you don't like the black, you can actually find it in a vibrant red edition, which is pretty attractive looking in my opinion. The only thing that's a bit of a question mark for me at looking at these specs is it says that it has a talk time of 3 hours, music time 2.5 hours, and then stereo mode 5 hours. So not too sure what the difference between these two are, because a lot of Bluetooth 5.0 earbuds that we've tested can definitely last longer than just 2.5 hours on a single playback. So I'm not sure if that's a misprint. And we've got the earbuds actually separated right out of the box here. And on the very bottom, we have the micro USB cable for charging up the battery case, in addition to a included soft carrying pouch, so you can take it with you on the go. The small model number is the D05. There's a quick user manual as well, and some spare silicone tips. Alright, so taking a closer look at the design, first impressions would be the entire thing is made out of metal on the battery case, and then on the earbuds themselves, we have a soft touch rubber as well as aluminum and metal on the top as well as on the sides. So it does have a more premium construction than many TWS earbuds I've seen, so we have a more solid construction. It also is more heavier as a consequence of using metal, however. So the case itself really is just like a mini power bank. It's shaped like one, and on the bottom here we even have some status LEDs that you can tap on to see how much of the battery life is left. There's a full-size USB port here that charges at 5 volt 1 amp. So one downside is this is not going to be the fastest charging rate in the world. It will charge up your smartphone, but it's going to take roughly 3 hours to complete on a typical phone compared to 5 volt 2.1 amps, for instance. Micro USB for charging up the battery case itself. Again, the power key there for status as well as for beginning to charge the earbuds, and then it just holds into place using magnets. So you can just pop this down here, and then we have status LEDs on the top of the earbuds that will also flash to tell you that it's currently being charged. Here's one by Syllable, the Q29 from about a year ago. That was pretty popular, and again, much smaller in terms of built-in battery capacity in the case, and there's no USB port either for charging up your phone. So pairing these are extremely simple. Just take them out of the battery case and they instantly turn on to life and enter the pairing mode. You would then just tap to connect onto the name of the device, which is D05, and you can start listening to music. There's no need to tap on any buttons or keys, so it is really simple and straightforward. You can see here that it does have something called SBC, which is very similar to Qualcomm's aptX. It's a way of improving on latency as well as giving you slightly higher quality audio playback. So it's nice that they have this compression technology codec built in by default, even on such low-cost pairs. Moving into audio quality and performance, the first impression is they're super bass heavy, especially on bass boosted tracks and EDM type music where you hear the drum beats and lower notes. It really is super noticeable. It almost kind of rattles and shakes. It definitely is a very surprising moment. On the other side, it's not the cleanest sounding earbuds in the world. Some of the other pairs technically have a little bit less noise and distortion, so if you pause the music for a second, you will hear a little bit of a background hiss, but it's super low. It's not something that you'll be kind of picking up too much. It's just noting that it's not really audiophile grade, but for the price point, I think it already sounds excellent. Mids and highs also sound very clean, very much balanced. Good vocals. It works well for pop music, for EDM music, anything that's bass heavy, rock music, in addition to podcasts and for watching movies. Because indeed, like other Bluetooth 5.0 earbuds, there is amazing latency. So the audio and the video are perfectly synced, even across action-packed sequences. I also really like their comfort and fit into my ears. They are a little bit heavier, but the soft touch rubber still stayed put very snugly, and as a result they never really fell out despite the lack of a larger wing to catch you on the outside. You basically put these into your ears backwards, so this goes into the bottom of your ear and this part is towards the top, but it sits in and it's actually quite comfortable in my testing. So they work reasonably well for gym and light sports and jogging, but they're not going to be the most snug in the world. But they do have a pretty good amount of noise isolation. I found that they were again very comfortable, stayed put, and kind of sealed off outside noise even though they aren't active noise canceling. charging. All right, so going into the battery performance next. Now, the interesting thing is it's actually kind of true. They lasted me about 3 hours on a single go before I needed to recharge them again. This is a battery life rating that's actually pretty similar to the older generations of TWS earbuds. It's a little bit longer. These would last me for about 2 hours on a single go. So 3 hours is a little bit better, but it still isn't as long as kind of 5 hours and 6 hours as we've been seeing from a few other pairs. With that being said, the capacity of the power bank allows you to charge these over 21 times when on the go. So by merit of a brute force massive capacity pack, you're able to listen to music for basically over 55 hours when on the road, which is still plenty long and a pretty high number. But I do wish that the battery inside of these earbuds could have lasted a little bit longer. We've gone ahead and started charging up the phone here, and you can see it's gone up 1% already, so still pretty fast, even though it's only 5 volt 1 amp. Again, it's going to take about 3 hours to completely charge up a typical Android cell phone here. Otherwise, charging up the battery case itself will take about 4 hours to complete. I also point out that for the earbuds themselves, they're very flush and they're not capacitive or touch sensitive, but these are actually buttons that you can actually press down on if you exert a little bit of force. If you want to play and pause your music, either side will work, or you can also press twice to skip track or answer and reject a phone call. They do have very small mics built on in that you can use to talk to someone with. So that's more or less it as far as the Alfawise TWS true wireless earbuds. Again, what's special about this really is the design of the battery case, because it comes in at 2,100 milliamp hours, which is huge for something like this. It still is relatively compact, and what I really like is that the sound quality, because it uses Bluetooth 5.0, is excellent, especially in bass. It really is surprising how punchy the sound is. Otherwise, we get over 55 hours because of this huge capacity, even though the playback time of the earbuds themselves is rated at under 3 hours each time. You can find out more details in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Alfawise TWS headphones.